This is a story of Dave and Sharon finally living their dreams of sailing to the Caribbean and beyond. Join us while we share our adventures from getting the boat ready and embarking on our cruising life.
Alright, so on our Perkins 4.236 motor, I'm getting water into the oil, and here's the motor. I had some other new injectors, and then I just sent the original ones out and had them rebuilt down here in Florida, over in Miami. They did a really good job. I'm still getting oil in there, so it is either the water pump, which is right here, but I doubt it, because underneath, I'm sure you can see, but underneath you can see right in there, and I got a little bit of a leak, but not enough to go into the oil. So now my suspicion is, if I do this with the light and everything, and my suspicion is this right here, which is an oil cooler. And I've got two options on this. I do have a core for that was spare on the boat, which is good because that's like a $1,200 item, and I have the gasket kit, so I might pull this off and rebuild this. And then I have the rebuild kit for the pump on the board, and I think I'm going to pull that off and rebuild it, even though I do have a new pump as well, but it has flanges instead of this old pump here just has threads in it, and the other one has flanges, so I'd have to go get the matching flanges or see if it's there somewhere. And also one other place, but it's not highly likely because of the amount of water coming in, but this is the muffler right here, and I'm going to pull that plate right off and check that I'm not getting any backflow through or clog up in the muffler. That could cause a problem. So we'll pull each one of these off and see what it is. Plus I'll do a little, if I can remember, I'll do a little video when I pull this muffler thing off. Now what I did do is shut the valves off, ran the engine just a little bit, see if I can get the water out of the system. I'm pretty sure that either way, when I open this up, I'll be getting water out. So I took the bolt out, and sure enough, there's the water coming out. So I got that off, and then I pulled this up, and there must be a hole. Oh, that's pretty crispy. I don't know if I can get another one of these washers. I mean, one of these. I might just have to coat that. It got crispy in there, which means it probably got hot from the impeller failing, and hot gas is getting down in there. I think this is supposed to be I think it's supposed to be one of these gaskets that keeps the flow equal down there. So in other words, it goes up and down with the pressure. That obviously doesn't work. But that could be one of the problems. Now when I'm looking down in here, it looks pretty clean. I don't think this is a problem. Alright, so this boot that was in the exhaust, and you can see that it has a little air chamber there, and that was all a little hard and cracked a little. So you cleaned it up with citrus cleaner, get the oil off, and then some acetone. And now I just put a layer of, right here, Permatex black adhesive sealant, silicone RTV. It's kind of high temp. It doesn't matter. That's not going to. It's going to be higher temp than the rubber was, in case it goes dry again. But I didn't put it on this part. This is flexible enough, the gasket part. But the air chamber part is what was leaking and hardened, etc. So I'm going to do the inside of this as well. Just a nice, it looks a little goopy, but I wanted it nice and thick. And on the inside, if this does come off, it doesn't matter. It'd just be blown right out with everything else. So, in the exhaust. Alright, so we got the oil cooler out. Here it is. There was a third little bolt, tricky, that was right up in behind there. I managed to get that out. These two came right out with the nice little DeWalt battery powered impact wrench. And we're going to take these off, take all these, take her all apart, and redo all the washers. Check that I have the new core. And I think what I'll do is change the core anyway, and then I'll take this core to see if I can find a radiator shop that will test it and or fix it for a backup. Okay, take these off. Look at that. Look at that pop. So it took the stud right out of there. Oh well. The stud will go back in. That one took the bolt out. Now, see if I get this off. Yeah, right, there it goes. Washer. Anybody? Washer. There we go. There's a gasket to clean up. I'm going to take the top off. There's a gasket under here that's, yeah, I guess that's on there. Nope, half it's on the motor and half it's here. This gasket. No. 1, 2, 3. Well, this should be a rubber. No, that's not. Yeah. Yeah, that's a rubber O-ring. I got those. Make sure we know which way to go. I know which way to go. Huh? Camera. This just makes putting things back together easier. This one up. Alright, so let's see what the just so we know which way to put these things back together. It's a good thing I have another core for this. The cores are $1,250 new, and I have a brand new one that came with the boat. Here you can see this milky. That's water, so it must be adding it in here, but that's water in the oil. Water and oil. You can also see it in here, all that milkiness. Terrible. Okay. Take this off. See if these are all the same length. They are. We've had the saga of the Perkins. I started out having problems with white smoke, and then also one of the things was the dreaded gray oil, I mean. So I had water in the oil in it. The coolant level never went down, so it was somewhere else, and it ended up being in the oil cooler. So I took the oil cooler apart, and thank God I had a new core on as spares that came with the boat. I don't think the core was bad though. I should have tested it, just a blow-through test before I took it apart, but I put the new one in, saved the old one, and just put a note to test it if I ever need it. What it really happened was the O-rings on either side of the unit or in a V channel, and they were plastic O-rings instead of the rubber ones. So I put new rubber ones in, and they worked like a charm. So we got that problem fixed. Right down in here is the oil cooler. I'm not sure you can see that without a light, so we'll get a light on the situation. So there's the oil cooler. All right, so we redid that, repainted it. You can see the filters on it there. So we got all that out, but I'm still getting blue smoke. And we'll show you. Eventually I was having trouble. It could have been I took off the lift pump, which is, come on, lift pump, which is right there. I'll have to put arrows to that when I do it, which I replaced about 1.5 years ago, but that was good. The next thing that it could be was, because I'm still getting that white smoke, the next thing is this injection pump right in there. Now I replaced that after we bought the boat with a rebuilt one from Transatlantic Diesel. That was one thing. If that's leaking, you can get fuel into the oil, which is what's happening now. Is I'm getting fuel into the oil and getting that blue smoke. So anyway, before I did anything, I also rebuilt the injectors. I had new ones put in. I put new ones in. They weren't that much, and it was still blowing smoke, so I took the old ones and had them rebuilt at a very good shop in Orlando, Florida, that does most of the stuff around here. I took it down personally and did it. I had them do it, and so they rebuilt those, and it's still blowing smoke. So I've had two mechanics on their list, because one of them was a month out and the other one was a month and a half out for them to even come over. And in the meantime, I was going to run the engine to see if I was still getting fuel in it, but before I did that, I decided to take off the valve cover, and lo and behold, I fixed it right now. But on this is cylinder 1, 2, and 3, and these right here are the, what is it? That's exhaust. Oh, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So this intake push rod was completely off from the ball, sitting to the side, and I'm going to see if it's bent. I don't think it doesn't look bent whatsoever. I put it back on, but now I'm going to go through a process of adjusting the valves, and I'm going to have to loosen the injectors up again so I don't have compression, and I can turn the engine from down in here, the flywheel. I've got a big breaker bar we're going to put on that. I got a process on the internet from a video where I can set these two, the number 1 cylinder to the top of the compression. No, the top, where is it? In between the exhaust stroke and the intake stroke, which will mean that one valve is just closed, the other valve is just starting to open. So they'll be, and then you mark the flywheel with one mark on the flywheel and a mark on either side of it. And then you can go through, and once you do that, with cylinder 1 set like that, you can test cylinder 4. You can set the valves for cylinder 4. They'll be loose at that point. Then you turn it 1/2 turn around, and you set number 2. Then you set 1/2 turn around, you set number 1, and another 1/2 turn around, and you set number 3. And that way you know where the top dead center is, or you know when the valves are closed completely on each one, and you can set the valve clearance. So we're going to go through that process, see if we can get that done today. I'm going to have to change the oil again, and we'll see if we can get rid of that blue smoke. That will be great, and I'll get my names off. In the meantime, we've had problems with this, still can't get high pressure, so I ordered an injector pump, and this check valve, and under the pump is some shims. So I got a shim kit, I got the injector valve, and I got the pressure pump. So once those come in, once those are delivered, we'll put this together, and hopefully that runs. If we get these motors running, once I do that, I finish doing the wiring for the solar and for the inverter. Alright, so I got the valves all adjusted, and I have a bad cover gasket, but I believe I have a spare one of those. And then I'll order all the parts I've been putting in from spares. I gotta go order those before we head out of here. So I replaced my spares. I'm not gonna fire up yet. I need to clean the inside. I need to clean these springs right here. Whoops, where we go? Well, I gotta clean these springs. So I'll dump some oil and brush them. And I have to clean the rust out of this. I think I'm just going to clean it. I don't think I'm going to paint it. Perkins fixed. No more white smoke. No more sheen on the water. There we go. No more white smoke. You got a little bit of it right there, but no sheen. So wait till the motor runs up. And I can smell that's just exhaust. A little bit of smoke. Not much. Put it in gear and warm her up under load. I'm sure we still have a lot of stuff in the exhaust system.
We want to say thank you to all of our viewers who have subscribed and commented. We appreciate your support and feedback. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps us build our channel up so we can keep bringing you more videos.